Hey guys, it's me, Tailman. I was happy to prefer. My camera's going wonky on me. Here we go. So, welcome to the second episode, I think now, Making Tutorials. The first one is we'll come over an overview of what you should probably have on you. Why is my camera? Stop, camera. Please. Camera doesn't want to stop moving. Sorry about the wobbly. My setup is not exactly optimal, especially where I'm recording right now. And this little part right here is a weight to keep it from tilting too much because I'm literally hanging the camera on top of a thing. Anyway, I don't want to get into that right now. I'm going to show you pretty much how to make a basic pistol with a slide. This is going to be interesting because the way this is going to work is I'm going to pretty much try and recreate and tell my experiences as a gun maker, or sorry, gun crafter, or you know what I want to call it. And before I got to this point to where I have this, apparently this is one of my better attempts at making a Desert Eagle, and also one of my most technologically demanding pistols, out of paper at least. Or you know, you have a reciprocating slide, you have a slide lock, you also have a trigger and a mag release, which unfortunately I lost the magazine to. All the spare ones. Also, you have a hammer, you know, and everyone wants to know how to make this gun. And the problem is, I made this gun blind. I didn't know what to do. I never had a plan going in. I just made it, hope for the best. And sometimes that can bite me back in the rear end, because there's many guns I've made but never posted because I never actually planned ahead. But somehow this one managed to work out. And you know, the point is, I really want to make a tutorial first, like on the basics, before I go into something more advanced, like this here. And to start off, we're gonna just pretty much make a reciprocating slide, like on this right here. It's not gonna have a cut open chamber, or not chamber, sorry, ejection port or this. It's gonna be a basic slide that moves back and forth, and we're not gonna focus on this handle. It's just gonna be a square block, because right now we want to get this part done and out of the way. This is the most basic, or not most basic, this is pretty much the most important part. Because here, the handle, there's a lot of ways the mag release can be put. It can be put as a heel release, it can be put as a standard basic button, or in some other models like an HK or Walter, the mag release is right here, which I honestly don't know how to make, so I don't know how that's going to work out. But basically, this part is a bit more flexible. This one here, just going to be your basic reciprocating slide. As you can see, but don't expect to see any cut open chambers or anything yet. Just right now, we just want to focus on the basic first before we get more advanced. So, the way I used to make my guns, basically, is I'm going to show you the first way I used to make it, and then the way I did it first. So you would not believe this, but it's going to look stupid, I'll assure you, and some of you might not like it, but I'm going to show you how I used to make my very first pistols that have a slide. And you know, so there we go. First, you grab a piece of paper, okay, and then I have my I fold it pretty much. You know, I pretty much like to fold it the size of my hand when I was younger, but then I realized there's different grip shapes, and the way I did it is I would make a very basic rectangle. So I'd do this, and then I would do this. Make a very basic rectangle, and then I'd match it up to there. Boom, boom. Hold this piece here. Basically, I would always try to make sure it's a perfect rectangle, even though I know it's not gonna matter in the future. But there we go. Measure up to there. Cut that. Not cut it. Sorry. Sorry if I always got a frame. This is literally my second time doing this, so I'm still kind of new to the whole tutorial game here, because I've never thought of making tutorials. So if I got a frame, forgive me. Hopefully down the future when I get more comfortable with this, and you know, make sure to stay in frame. Use the big scissors here. I also like big scissors. I know I said use it for appropriate, which I know. But I also just like to use big scissors to make cutting items less time, because they have more longer sharp points. So The only problem here with packaging tape is that you don't sometimes know where the crease is, so that might cost me time, but since this is a tutorial, that's not really going to be much of an issue for me, at least. So basically, make your handle. Now basically, all I'm doing is making a basic rectangle. You don't have to follow this. Right now, I'm just going to show you how I used to make my my guns, and then how I pretty much developed my technique from that point on. And then, there we go. So this is your handle. This is literally how I used to make my guns. This is the handle right here. Nothing special about it. Like, no fancy trigger guard or anything. This is it. This was my very first gun handle. Next, I'm going to show you how to make the barrel. As easy as pie, basically. Just take a piece of paper, roll it up like crazy. Okay. Sorry again if I'm out of frame. My first time. And there we go. So basically, I'd make the barrel so it fits in here. That looks nice. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay. So hopefully you guys get to see and experience my very first gun making. And this right here is my very first gun, you know, that had a slide release. Or not, sorry, slide mechanism. Or something that had a slide on it. And when I first made it, I was freaking out. It's like, oh my gosh, I actually made a gun that has a moving slide. Because believe it or not, before that, none of my guns had any sort of moving slides. The only part they had was a removable magazine. That was about it. That was the best I could do back then. So, as you can open, probably got a piece of tape in my mouth. As you can probably imagine, I was stoked when I found out I could finally somehow manage to. Okay, before I begin, the way I would attach the pipe is at a slight angle, like this, and then I'll just tape it to the spot. Like so. Remember, these guns were not pretty. They were pretty crude. There we go. So, gosh. Oh gosh. It's been how many years since I ever made a gun that had this kind of design? Oh no, we're not even done yet. You're about to see how weird it got back then. So this is it. This is pretty much what they expect from my gun. Those are my very first guns, okay? Nothing special. And then I would just put a slide here and it would be done. That's what I'm going to do next. Just going to make a slide. And not to completely waste this piece of paper, I'm going to save a strip here. Pretty much like pretty much 2 inches in diameter. You don't have to follow. You don't have to follow this. I'm just showing you how I used to make my guns, and then like I said, I'll expand on that, and then see how it got from this to this. You know, what a big gap, I hope. So let me get the strip out of here. And the thing about these tutorials is they're gonna be pretty long, like 30 minutes. So this allows me to pretty much explain everything. So there we go. That seems about right. I don't really care about that. So right now I'm going to fold up the slide. Right now, the slide I didn't really matter too much to me at the time as well. As long as it covered the barrel. That's what I thought a good slide would be like. Next, I would do this, where I'd kind of fold it on there, but then I imagined the edges as so. Then I would just kind of lightly crease it, and then make sure it's nice and equal. And then I proceed to go and fold it. You know, to make the slide. Because right here, you're seeing right now how I first started making pistols. Sorry, out of frame again. Out of slide. I got so used to working in such a close proximity of myself without a camera. I forgot the camera's up here. So, my bad, like I said before. There you go. There's the slide. Bite this piece of paper. Oh my gosh. It's been long since how long since I made guns like this? Oh man, nostalgia is just kicking in. Just kicking in. Oh man. Y'all thinking, oh, this looks stupid. Yeah, I'll admit, even looks stupid from my point of view nowadays. But back then, this was the best I could do. So there you go. you have this piece that slides around the barrel. Here's the kicker. Watch this. Take your slide, okay? Take your slide. Do this. This is also the first time I realized you could do this with tape. You could stick it around itself. And not realize I saw someone do it. I was like, oh, come, you could do that. And then, ever since then, it's just been history then. Uh-oh. Can't even roll it out right now. There we go. Got that piece. Boom. Boom. Uh-oh. There we go. Woo. Oh my gosh. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, whoever may be watching this video at the time. You are looking, well, oh, that's too low. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, back then that would also bother me like crazy. Back then when I was younger. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at my very first pistol that had a movable slide. Doesn't look like much, I'll admit, but this right here was my very first stepping stone, I guess you can say, to making guns with movable slides. As you can see here, there we go. This was revolutionary for me. This is when I first started making guns with slides, and this pretty much helped me develop my technique and pretty much learn how to make different ways of making slides and how to make them move forward automatically. Because back then I would go, and then after a while that suited me. But after seeing so many people on YouTube when I was younger being able to do this with cardboard and not really done on paper as common as it is now today, I've tried to emulate that, and throughout the years I finally managed to get to this level. This will be coming soon, but I just wanted to show you how I used to make my guns. And I know it's stupid, I'll admit it is, but like I said, this helped. Without this, I wouldn't have probably made what you saw today, what I make today. So, you know, and the downsides is how you're going to put a trigger guard, because this would get in the way. I literally just put a piece of paper right here, and then takes it right here, so it's just pretty much a piece of paper that's underneath this, and that worked for a bit. But then this right now, what to show you next is how I changed up the design. So yeah, so let's put this questionable gun away. Man, maybe I could put this on my wall. My first gun. And I had to pull out the magazine, put that in there. Oh, good times. Alright, now it's time to get serious. Now, this technique works for certain guns, but not all of them. And the other technique I'll show is another gun in the future, or tutorial in the future. But luckily for you, this technique is what was used to make this gun right here. So that's what I'm going to do first. Now, the way I did this was, why is my camera out of focus? My goodness! Camera, why you gotta be like this? So the way I started off was, what's the time on my camera? 13 minutes? Pfft, I got like 30 minutes, so I got like 27, I think, no, 17 more minutes. Okay. So first of all, let me take apart the gun real quick to show, basically, the way I did it is I used the channel right here. This piece of cardboard, I know you can't see it, but this piece of paper right here, this piece of paper, this right here, for this technique, will be the main part of the gun, and nothing else. This piece right here that runs pretty much throughout the gun, this is the main piece. Everything else was attached to it from there. But this piece is the one you're going to have to focus on for this tutorial, at least. This gun was using a different method, which is more akin to what I do for my cardboard guns, but this is going to be in the future. Don't worry though. Right now, we're just going to focus on this and the slide part. We're not going to make an open ejection port yet. That's out of the question. At least for this tutorial, for basics. So the way I did it is I took two pieces of paper. Oh, crap's getting real now, huh? Took 2 pieces of paper and make sure they're very, very nicely lined up with each other. And you don't have to use tape, but you know, if you're unsure, by all means, just use a little piece like that big, or however you want to use it, pretty much to keep these things together as you fold it. Because as you fold it, the paper will like to shift this way, and the other one likes to shift the other way. So, right now, there we go. So now these are pretty much joined together lightly for the main body. And as the thing I need to really go over is what you might see commonly is they only use 1 piece of paper to make the slide, which is good, but sometimes you gotta have to use multiple pieces of paper to get thicknesses that can help support the weight of the structural integrity of the gun. And the way I do things is I like to fold up pieces of paper until they're pretty much the thickness of your basic cereal box cardboard, or thicker, like this kind of cardboard right here. So they're almost the thickness of this, what I would normally work with. See how there's a thickness here? That's pretty much what I go for, because in theory, I think, is if it's that thick, the piece of paper is already super thick, and if you added, like, you know, paper clips, it'd be pretty strong, especially if you're gonna make like a rifle or something, which I did with the M4, but that's completely out of the question and way in the future, but that will come soon, don't worry. Right now, we're just gonna focus on this and pretty much take these pieces together before I start yabbering like crazy. Now this is pretty much determine how you want to make the gun. I'm just gonna use this right here as my base. So fold this piece in half. This one I have to make sure it's in frame now. I'm gonna have to be looking at the camera a lot. And wait, what? Okay, sorry about that word cut there. For some reason my camera stopped recording as I was folding this. So just to quickly recap, just in case something happened. Took a piece of paper and I joined it here with a little piece of tape right here. And my camera can stop wobbling, you can probably see it. See it right there, that little shiny piece, just to keep it nice and secure. And then what I did is I folded it lengthwise rather than widthwise, because the gun is not going to be super long. It's going to be pretty compact, at least for the sake of the simplicity here. And then, now, to continue, what I would do next is I would pretty much do it one more time, because believe it or not, you don't need that much height on the sides. In fact, you might actually not need that much at all. So here we go. Boom. Okay. Now we're talking. Okay. Now, I know I mentioned rulers, but I don't need it for this, but I really, like to use rulers to pretty much plan it out. So it's easier to fold later. I know it sounds weird, but it helps me. So now you can see the paper is pretty thick. Now, this is pretty good for what you need. I think that's also the same thickness of the Glock. Yeah, so same thickness. And there we go. Now, for the basic pistol here, you don't have to make the sides that tall. You could probably make them about, let me see if I can use a ruler. Let me measure this. So measurements that. Oh, you can actually make the ridges on the sides about 1/2 inch high. So let me mark that. And see, this is when a ruler would actually. I guess we are going to use a ruler. Normally I would eyeball it, but for the sake of to help illustrate the point, I'm going to just use a ruler, because why not? It's a tutorial, and I don't want you guys to assume things. You're going to have to actually see it happen. So there you go, it's about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to fold it right about now. Actually, you could use the ruler if you want, as a straight edge to help fold it. Like, lightly crease it, I guess. Or you could just go full on fold at the point. Crease it lightly, and then proceed to heavily fold it. Okay. Ow! There we go. Next. There you go. Nice straight edge, or 90-degree angle. Now we're gonna have to determine the width. Normally, let's see the width here. The width I made for this, ouch. Well, here is pretty much an inch. Oh, look at that, an inch. Approximately. So I'm just gonna do the same thing here. So, oh man, there we go. Now I'm in frame. There we go. So I mark an inch. Boom. And then I'll pretty much throw a straight line through it. I need to see it too, you know. Sorry about that. Just out of frame. There we go. Nice and straight. There we go. Then I'll proceed to fold this part as well. So, grabbing this piece. I might have to stand up for this one. There we go. Then I just, again, like I did the other side, lightly crease it. There we go. Now, there we go. Next is I will just pretty much fold upon that crease you guys made, or I'm assuming you made, and then you start to work out to be official fold. Because once you do this, there's no going back. It's going to show up in the paper, and there's nothing you can do about it to change it. And then refold this piece, because the paper, like I said, likes to shift a lot. So make sure to refold that piece, and make sure it stays there. Alright, we're good. We're good. We're definitely good. Now you'll be noticing something. What happened? How come it's bigger than the other side? That's normal. What you do here is up to you. Basically, first, before you do anything, measure it up to half an inch. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And what you do is up to you. You can either fold it over and have more structural integrity. And of course, one side's going to be thicker than the other. That's millimeters. I don't want millimeters. I want inches. Okay. Mark that here. There we go. And then mark it here. Quick. Okay, so what you do at this point is up to you. For me, I'm just going to cut it because it's going to be more easier in the long run. And I'm just going to use tape to pretty much sharpen the edges of the gun. So, there we go. Now, here you want to be careful because as you cut, paper likes to move. And then when you're done cutting, I'll assure you, one side might be nice and pristine at the start, but at the end, like, you might have some parts rising up than the others, like making a slight angled effect, which is what you don't want, so be careful. And if it does happen, just make sure to trim it out. So I'm going to lightly. Oh, man, out of frame again. Yeah, see, I get so used to cutting close to me, I'm out of frame. There you go. Here, this is what I mean with paper. If you're not careful, I pretty much did this on purpose, but this is what you're gonna happen if you're not careful. When you start up first, nice, and then it tends to rise up, because as you cut, paper will tend to shift on you, which is okay. Don't worry about that. As long as you're careful, just pretty much just trim it out. You have nothing to worry about. Just take your time and make sure this edge is nice and clean, because trust me, it's gonna pay off in the long run when you make sure these edges are clean. It might take a couple passes, don't worry. Pretty much keep it to where it is leveled. And if you have to, go from the other side. Just do this. There you go.
Okay, where's Dad here?
Yeah.
Where?
He's in the car. Why?
Do you know if I have any brushes or brooms?
No, we don't have any brooms. No.
We're out.
We're out of brooms. But we have our mops and little pans with the little brushes, but we don't have any brooms. Yeah.
Yeah. So we usually say it, but we're out.
Okay. So, yeah. In case you're wondering, I am off. Or not off. I'm at work right now at the dollar store, and sometimes you might occasionally have that. At least when I'm recording these tutorials. Normally I'm supposed to be off today, but we're quote-unquote supposed to be having a shipment. So that's why I'm stuck here. Well, not stuck, but you know, that's why I'm here. So, there we go. Now they're both pretty equal. Now what I'm going to do next, you don't have to do this, but I just like to do it to make it more neater and easier to work with in the future, is take a piece of tape, pretty much use your thumb as a mark, and then cut it. And then what I do next is, there we go. Come on. Okay, well it's not working with me. What I like to do is pretty much put the tape towards pretty much halfway on there, and then just lightly grease it over. And then first get this part out of the way, and I just do this basically. There you go. And then for this part, I do the same thing. Boom, done. And then run it along, make sure it's nice and straight, and there we go. Pretty much what this does is it just pretty much makes it into a more workable edge. Sorry. So it's more even, and you have nothing to worry about. Just like how this one is folded, this pretty much just gives it the effect that it's folded, but reality it's not. But you know, it makes it more easier to work with. So there we go. Now we have our frame. As you can see, the pistol's starting to take shape, at least for the basic. Next, let's see here. Let me see one. I don't want to break this. That's memories right there, just manifested in place. Also, I need to show you how to make it from scratch, so that's also the reason why I'm not going to do it. So, pretty much you want to make the barrel next. So, the barrel isn't that big, but you're going to have to make it. This is where kind of assuming where to put things gets pretty complicated. So, not complicated, but it kind of gets tricky. So, normally I like to put my handle, in this case, about, let's see here. It's not a real gun, so you're a bit more flexible, but if I had the choice, I would normally make sure to put my handle about half an inch to almost, let's see here, about 3/4 of the way here. So either half an inch or 3/4 of the way. I'm going to put half an inch because it's more, not that further away from the thing. So you don't have to follow that exactly, but you know, because you don't really. The point of this part here is a back strap to keep your hand from going into the sliding and cut. Basically, that's what the little parts here on the gun are for. Just so when you shoot, your hand is not in the way of the slide. That's pretty much it. But some guns don't have that much, and sometimes you still get slide bite regardless. But okay, anyway, we're gonna go on a tangent on that. So the handle placement doesn't affect it now, but just keep that in mind that when there is a handle placement, you're gonna have to watch out for the handle placement, especially when you're trying to make a model gun, because you'll see why in the future installments. Right now, we're just gonna get with the basics. So right now, just pretty much just make a barrel. And for this piece of paper, I'm going to at least save about 2 inches worth of paper, maybe 2 inches, no, 3 inches, why not? Because the barrels are going to be that long, so let me mark out that so I can save. You'll see why I'm going to save this piece of paper. Sometimes I should start talking about paper, all states, because some parts you don't really need that much paper. Like, for example, a barrel. You don't need to use a full piece of paper and then, like I said, you don't have to use a full piece of paper to make a barrel and then cut that part off and then you won't be able to utilize that piece. Sometimes it's good to just pre-measure and cut the part you need, and then you have more paper to use for future, parts. So that way you're getting the most effective use out of a piece of paper without completely wasting it. So, there we go. So this part we're going to save in a bit. Right now we're going to make the barrel. So, technically speaking, barrels don't have to be that big. They don't. Man, cannot find the starting point for tape. Gotta love that, right? When you're trying to look for the starting point, or at least that little strip. That found it. There we go. Cut that piece of paper with my teeth. And it's a bad habit to use your teeth, but that's how I grew up, so if you, I don't know, it's up to you basically to cut the tape. I use my teeth instead of scissors, and some people use scissors instead of their teeth, so it's just more of a preference, really. So, barrel. Make sure it fits roughly between the rails, not by much, maybe half an inch, or sorry, a few centimeters. And then, to finalize it, just take a long piece of tape right here, and just lightly, because you don't want to go crazy on it yet, lightly paste it on there. If it looks good, then you can pretty much roll it up. Why I'm doing this is so I can make sure the tape does not have any weird little wrinkles you might have if you put it too abruptly or something. Also makes it more smoother, so in the future when you make a piece, it doesn't have a rub. It doesn't have a chance to like get caught on it, which it has happened to me before, believe it or not. So there we go. Now for the barrel. I normally like to have the barrel sticking out before pre-assembly, and then I cut it to the shape of the slide, because you can easily, remove material than it is to add it on. So there we go. So that's what I want to do. So for this piece, I'm gonna fold it in half, like this, as so. There we go. I'm gonna fold it like this. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna mark it within the slide here, like so. Okay, see that mark? Like I said, you're gonna have to. That's why I don't want you to follow me explicitly. I want you to get the idea and concept and learn how to do it on your own, and then adapt it to your kind of gun. So it fits within there. Next, I'm gonna fold it up so it's slightly above it. You'll see why. Not too much. That's about right, yeah. Pretty much where it's almost coming above the thing, but not by much. That's pretty good height. And then you make a basic rectangle, in this case. Boom. Okay. So, do this. There we go. Do that. Oh, no! Okay, sorry. Sometimes my thing likes to troll me and not. There we go. There you go. Next, I'll just pretty much use this and just keep folding it until you run out of paper, because it adds structural integrity to it. And also, it's not as easy to warp and bend. I mean, it's still going to warp and bend regardless, but adding more layers, like I said, helps it out. But you also have to find out that balance between more layers and when to stop and use alternate means to support it structurally. So there we go. That's your basic rectangle. So let me... Uh-oh. Alright, there we go. Let me just tape it together. You'll see why I do this method in a bit in the future installments when you are going to learn how to make a slide with the adjustable, or not adjustable, with an open ejection port. So there we go. There you go, you have your basic pistol. I know this pistol, that's the intent, because right now I'm trying to show you pretty much what the basic form of it looks like. So basically, tape your barrel here. And then tape a barrel here, pretty much in the middle, and there you go. I gotta hurry, my battery's on 1 battery life. Crap. So, okay, so make sure that's nice and neat. Okay, good, good, good. Boom. Okay, good, good. Okay, so now we're almost done. Next, what you want to do is take a piece of tape and affix it here to the slide. So take a piece of tape, put it on the barrel right here, and then pretty much where you want to put it. Because right now, since we're not making an open ejection port with the pistol, it doesn't matter, but just keep that in mind. Right now, I just want you to practice the idea of using a box as a bolt here for the riser. That's weird. Why's my camera keep doing that? After certain minutes, it likes to like start a new file. I don't know why it does that. Oh, it's on smart mode. Okay. Basically, smart mode likes to split it up into multiple files after a certain amount of time, which I don't mind, but it's gonna be a nightmare to edit because I already have a lot of videos on the cart. I could stop rambling over something. The camera's about to die. Okay. Okay, so pretty much make a slide. I'm gonna cut this in half because I'm running low on time, but hopefully, gonna cut the piece of paper in half. There we go. And oh gosh, I'm starting to lose my voice. I guess this is why I don't do much talking a lot, because I actually lose my voice super easily, believe it or not. So there we go. I'll fold this in half. Oh crap! You don't see that. I'll fold this in half. Sorry, my first time. So you're gonna have to forgive me. I keep forgetting there's a camera here. I get so into the project, I forget I'm trying to teach someone I might never ever see on the internet. So right now, like I did before, I'm using that technique where I pretend to round it off, but then try and approximate where to put the 90-degree angle cuts. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, so. Okay, in the camera view, come on, man, come on. So fold it here. Boom! And then fold it here. Nice. There you go. Huh. Epic. Like, so what happened here was that the paper liked to extend a bit. Normally, I would actually say this is okay because it's not that much and it's only one layer, so it actually can work to your advantage if you actually plan things out. So, there we go. You have your slide. Now, how are we going to fix it to the thing? Well, believe it or not, that is actually quite simple. See how the gun looking now? So we're going to get this piece of paper. Remember this thing we cut in half? Huh? Like I said, paper management and all states here. Sometimes planning ahead of what to do with the paper helps a lot, and it helps also save paper so you're not wasting as much. I mean, under some straps you're going to have to use it because you have no choice, but if you can, try and save it. There you go. This piece, remember how on this part here, that's what we're going to do now. See how that came along? And yes, believe it or not, that is what I still use on my guns today. Although in a very more smaller form, it's the same concept. So, next what we're going to do is wrap this piece around the barrel. I hear it humming. Is that me or? Yeah, slightly wrap it around the barrel, and then pretty much there we go. So make sure it's kind of loose, but not too loose, because you'll see why in a bit. Oh man, there we go. So it's pretty loose, which is what we want. You can have it kind of tight, but make sure it's not so tight that when you try to put a spring in it, it won't be able to reset it to its normal position. There we go. There we go. Nice and loose. Now, take another piece of tape, fold it in on itself, and you don't have to make it too tight because this is still going to be adjusted until it's permanently affixed. So put it here. And no, this model won't be able to have a field strip. But don't worry, I will cover that. Right now, like I said, we're just going to go with the basic mechanics of the gun. In this case, a moving slide, of all things. And then, and oh yeah, for the gun, project gun, I call this the project gun. Don't throw this away, because I'm pretty sure we could add more to it later. And how to make it better in terms of what it can do now compared to later. What? Never mind. So there you go. You have your pistol. Crap. You have your basic pistol with a slide on it. Boom. See how that works now? Now, since I like the placement already, you can now take a piece of tape. Well, I'm take a piece of tape. I'm pretty much trying to fix it on there however you see fit. I'm going to do this way. And then basically have it lightly loose there. And then, oh crap, nope. No, there we go. Make like this, and then just attach it like that. I'll keep it nice and tight against the pin here. There we go. There we go. Nice. So there we go. Now it's attached to the slide, and now you won't have much of an issue now. Make sure it's nice and loose still. Next part is we're gonna have the spring. Now you may be wondering, how is you gonna have a spring? Well, like on a real gun, normally a spring is attached or located in the bottom of the barrel here, and that's what we're gonna do. So, after making sure the slide is in its normal state, there we go. We're gonna pretty much put a piece of tape or piece of paper as a blocker here, and that's what I did with the Glock, except it's more structural. But you see how there's that piece of paper going through here? That stops the spring from going through. So we're gonna grab the same piece of paper, the same width, in this case about 2 inches. And just folding it. That's approximate 2 inches right there, I think. I don't know. And it doesn't have to be exact, because you'll see why later. In the view, make sure it's in the view when I'm doing these things. And then just, not tightly, but loosely roll it up. You'll see. You'll see why. Perfect. Okay. Boom. There we go. Next, what you want to do is you want to slightly fold the thing slightly into a shape like this. Pretty much try and transform it into a rectangle. That's what I would normally do. I keep dropping it. There we go. Doesn't have to be too heavy. Just a light shape like this. Don't have to go aggressive on it. There we go. Next, take a piece of tape and then just roll it up again. I'm starting to lose my voice. I think this will have to be my tutorial for the day. Ouch. Just to talk now. And pretty much attach it there. Boom. Done. What this basically does is now you can just easily start rolling it up so it's more rounded at the edge. There we go. Now, what you have is essentially a slide stop, or not slide stop. So it goes there, but also pretty much prevents the spring from flying out of the gun. Now, how are we going to make the spring, you ask? Well, this is where things can get interesting. I figured out or realized that paper can actually act as a spring. Now, normally I would use cardboard for this, but I don't have any on me. But here's the interesting part about this kind of tape. If you add enough layers, it actually gets really rigid. And if you fold it right, it becomes a spring. So I'm going to show you that technique now. I learned this recently, and I used it for my AA-12 shotgun. That's a spring for the magazine. Worked like a charm. So, I don't know how it worked, but in this case, how I'm making the spring. Make sure their piece of strip pretty much fits within the gun, basically, with no binding. I'll show it to you after I actually make the thing, because I know it's kind of hard to visualize things. Trust me, I know. I've been there. Boom! Done. So make sure it fits in there. In this case, it doesn't. It slightly binds against the barrel. So I'm going to have to just quickly cut it. I'm not... Normally I'd take my time, but right now my battery is literally about to die. Oh crap, 1 bar left. Okay. Alright. Good. Waste the paper, I don't like it. There you go. Boom. Nice and loose. Now, here's what we're going to do next. Make sure there's no piece of paper. This is where things get interesting. Watch. If I can actually find the piece right here. Just tape it over it. Boom. Make sure it's nice and even. Oh, I messed up there. No! Tape, why you gotta be like that? Oh, I'm just gonna cut it at this point. I'm gonna hurry. There we go. There we go. So you have a laminated piece of paper, which ironically can act like a spring. There we go. So now pretty much just fold it in accordion shape, like so. My battery's about to die. Oh, I'm actually quite terrified right now. Come on, battery, stay with me. So fold it in an accordion shape as such. And when it unfolds, you'll see why this technique couldn't work. If I actually had more time, I would do it more nice and neater. Right now, I don't have that time. So as you can see, it likes to spring out pretty like a lot, almost. There you go. So you have yourself a spring. Now I don't expect it to push the slide in a normal amount, but I just want to show you the concept of it actually working. So if you made sure that the slide doesn't bind too much to the thing, there you go. See? You got yourself a basic spring. Now I know it kind of bothers you to see it not go as fast. I'm sorry, but right now I'm kind of running out of time. My thing's about to die. But hopefully what you see here is the thing. There. And I'm not going to leave it here, don't worry. I'm just showing you that. See, it works. Paper can actually work as a spring if your slide is light enough and, you know, you're doing things right. Next, I'm going to mark it here. Pretty much to where the slide is here. In this case, right there. And I'm going to cut it. I know that sounds crazy, but you'd be wondering, oh, what about that thing you marked in the back? That's just a little tip, like when you're making the back strap, or not back strap, the little piece here. Keep that in mind. But right now, for this tutorial, that's not going to be important. So, next, you're going to wonder, it does this, but look, the slide goes past the back point of the gun. How are we going to stop that? Simple. Take a piece of paper, or in this case, this conveniently placed piece right here. Cut it. Basically, you would have just folded a piece of paper, but for sake of time, my battery, I'm just going to cut this and recycle it. Recycling, yay! Okay, and pretty much just take it back like so. Ah, that was loud. It actually hurt my ears. When you pull tape too fast, you can actually make some pretty uncomfortable noises. It hurts my ears as we speak right now. So, oh, well, you don't need that. You don't need all that. So don't worry. And the frame, come on, there we go. There we go. Oh crap! There we go. Camera, are you still live with me? All right, good. You following me, camera? So there we go. Oh, that's not high enough. Actually, let me see. So put the slide back on. Hold on, I'm gonna have to work off camera for a second. It's kind of hard to do so far away. There we go. Okay, so take a piece of paper and use this piece right here. Don't want to. Actually, you know what? Can I use this piece? Yeah, I'm just gonna use this piece. Why not? What could possibly go wrong? Okay, so I'm going to make the back part of the slide right now. Take that slide off. Okay. Boom! Alright, good. Now we got the back part of the slide, which is what we want. Alright. So, I guess you can also mention, if you have to cut a piece off for whatever apparent reason on paper, see if you can try and repurpose it. Because sometimes you'll be surprised how many pieces of paper might be the one magical piece of shape of paper you might need before you start making it. You know, if you just want to, you know, save paper and whatnot if you're running low. Like, right I am. Okay. Boom. There we go. Now the slide will go past the back, and you are good. So you see there? But just for the sake of security and making sure it really doesn't go past it, we're going to make this part higher. And in case you're wondering, that looks weird. That's what I use on my modern guns as well. The guns I make today. You'll see. Let me see if I can fix this with my camera dying on me. Okay. Move this up a bit higher than usual. Boom. There we go. Okay, you can still see it barely. Okay. Oh, my screen just went dim on the camera. Oh gosh, no. Okay, no, okay. It's just the power saving mode. Camera knows what's about to go down. There we go. Okay, make sure the slide's in here. Boom. There we go. Oh, there's a piece of tape that's sticking on here. That's not going to bother me that much. So there's your basic gun. Now, I know it looks weird. It looks chunky. That doesn't bother me. But the point of the gun here, if I actually wanted to look good, I would have spent more time. But right now I'm just making a basic gun that has a slide and reciprocates that evolved from this. Okay, that's the point here. So there we go. You have a slide with you have a reciprocating slide. Everything is literally made out of paper. And the spring is paper that's been laminated with tape. But, you know, if I added more layers, it would have been stronger. But, point is, you have a movable slide. Now, let me just end the tutorial with using this piece right here. And then, and for each tutorial, I will be making a base gun. This, we'll see. So you're going to have multiple guns. So this gun, the main purpose on this gun is a slide that moves. Okay, so I'm going to make the handle look like pretty much like this. Don't worry about that, okay? That's a different tutorial in the future. You know, let's make it proportional. I mean, let's see here. I'm going to bide my time and bite the bullet here and see if my camera can have enough power to film me making a handle for the gun. Which isn't that hard, so. Handle's going to be the easiest thing you make. So basically, make a rectangle. Or for whatever reason, oh, wrong way. There we go. Alright. There we go. Okay. And then, why not make the rectangle a bit more slimmer? So I'm feeling we're going to need it. There we go. Boom. Done. Done like dinner. Okay. I wonder how long this tutorial is going to be. I don't know. I don't really care about the upload times or anything like that. I just want you guys to learn how to make a gun, but also make your own unique style to it. Okay. Just make a very simple rectangle. Excuse me. Just burped. There we go. Oh, man. I'll find a way to use that paper somehow. Don't worry about that, you guys. I got this. Boom! Don't have to make it look pretty. Just make sure it's secured and not going to fall apart on you. Next, just your slide. Basically, if you want, you could just... here's a little cool technique. Just snip two ends here. Make sure they're about equal amounts of snipped. Well, I intentionally made a little line to follow on accident when I folded my paper in a weird way. But it works for me! So there you go. See how that happens? So just pretty much try and fold it from that point. Make sure they're kind of equal. Basically, so start to fold at the top and then try and see if you can make it follow all the way down to here. Don't have to make it perfect. Just basically, and no, you don't have to make a magazine for this gun, because the basic point of this gun, at least model, is just to make a reciprocating slide. Oh, my battery's almost out of power. Frick, I gotta... Spent too much time talking about dinner and all that. Okay. Oh no, come on, no! Everything's just going wrong at this point. Okay, good. I fix it. Okay, cool. Alright, no more messing around time. Things are getting serious. Oh, my voice is definitely out now, yeah. My voice sounds weird. Alright, good, finished. Alright, good. That's it for this one. So there you go. Now you got a pistol with a slide. I hope you guys can see this, because my camera is weird. Let me see if I can zoom it out. Was I zoomed in the whole time? Oh no, I wasn't. Okay. Okay, my battery's about to die. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. This is a pistol with a basic slide that moves. Boom! Can you see that? Look at that! Hopefully down the line I can try to make an open injection port, but right now, just watch the video, see if you can learn something from it, and hopefully you can make your own style. And next tutorial, it can either, I think I'm going to base it on a mag release system. So that's good. So anyway, my name is Tailman. What's the tap I prefer? Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, be chill.